The time has finally arrived. It is Friday. It is the last few rounds of the Bourbon Madness Tournament 2024. And tonight, live stream, Final Four, and we will be crowning a champion on both sides of the fence here. Trenton's bracket and my bracket.
It's always a sad time when this comes to an end. We
is.
did a little bit different this year. I think it's gone pretty good. Although I haven't read comments. I don't know if you've read comments.
I haven't.
We're going to have a little bit catching up to do after all is said and done on tomorrow or
for sure.
Tonight. Actually, tonight.
Yeah,
8 p.m.
sure.
Central. Don't miss it. It's going to be hopefully good.
Yeah, hopefully. I was a little disappointed on our last video. I didn't watch the video, but as we filmed it, I just felt I had kind of an off day for tasting.
Okay.
I felt what I had in the glasses were good bourbons, but there's certain days for me, and I don't know if it's the same for you, there's certain days for me that I can just taste better. It's just a little bit more relevant when I'm tasting. And last video just wasn't quite up there where I like it to be. So hopefully I was representable, did the best I could. I know for a fact that I picked what I was enjoying the most, so we'll go from there.
I'm glad you mentioned that because I came down here and immediately I smelled what we had going on in here. And I haven't even had anything yet, but it just smells like I'm going to taste good today, which is weird to say. But like that first round, I kind of feel you because the first round when we started doing this all together, I was like, I don't know if that was my best round.
Oh, okay. Yeah, see?
Yeah. But we're not. Right. We don't redo stuff here, so the first thing that came out. So
it is what it is.
We will. We'll see what those first rounds are on our recap on Monday.
Great.
Back to regularly scheduled program.
Yeah, and then we're gonna have to think of videos that we have to do too.
I got a couple queued up. Don't you worry.
Oh boy.
Yeah, don't you worry.
Oh boy. All right.
All right, here we go.
Yep. I got a in my hand here.
God.
Well, it's starting off good for you, I hope.
Sweet Jesus. It's oh my God, it's so good.
Woo-wee. This is good too.
Did you roll mine?
Your mother did.
You did? Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, when she poured them. I started coming up here and doing it. She goes, I've already done that. That's so nice, wasn't it?
Maybe that's why it smells so good.
This is lovely. This is this is good. I was going to say some things, but I probably shouldn't.
Well, go for it. No, let's hear it.
No.
This has really given me a chocolate covered, like a red vine.
Mm-hmm.
Like that kind of, like a mocha with a red vine type of thing. It's delicious. It smells a little bit like fresh dirt, but in a good way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Nice organic type of smell.
This is
barely.
Great. This is great.
I can't wait. I'm gonna go ahead and slide A forward for my number one. Oh my Lord, that is good.
Well, I can tell you this: the palate is back because that is fabulous.
You're back and better than ever.
The palate is back and better than ever, man. I mean, that is delicious stuff. There's a hint of cherry in there too, but I'm going to say next, Trent. There's a little sweet and sour going on in there. There's some delicious stuff. I was kind of smelling it on the nose too. This is a fantastic sip.
There's so much happening here. I honestly don't even really know where to begin. Just know that whatever this is good.
Oh, that cherry is wonderful in there with this. I get that cherry right in the front of the palate. It lasts a little bit to the middle, and then it goes into that sweet, sour, traditional wild turkey bourbon. And if I'm wrong, I'll slap myself in the head. Because
Well, stop saying it, because now I'm getting sweet and sour, and I know that this is not turkey. I think. I don't know.
And I don't know. I don't know why I keep saying sweet and sour. It's like a sour oak, but I know, and I don't want to say that because it sounds awful, but it's not. It's delicious.
Like sour oak candy if they were to make that?
It's delicious.
We should do a collab with Buffalo Trace on some sour oak candy.
Mm-hmm.
We do a little like sour patch bowls or something. I don't know.
So good. All right, I got to quit drinking that. I'm just going to keep sipping that the rest of the show.
This one smells very interesting. Gardeny. Which is a weird note.
Gardeny. All right, I'm going to get into this one here. Oh, Lord.
That's burnt. Like a burnt sugar.
Why did this happen?
Uh-oh.
This is just a monster load butterscotch and maple. Butterscotch and maple overload.
Are these two going to put the plow to you think?
Full forward, rich, dense aromas. I mean, that's just lovely. It's just downright lovely.
This has a very nice barrely cherry note to it with a little bit of a burnt caramel type of thing. The nose transfers really nicely to the palate, and I am scared because these are both really, really good.
Wow. All right, I'm kind of nervous myself because I'm going to tell you right now, I love them both.
They putting the wood to you?
This tasting is putting the wood to me, Trent.
I will say the nose on A is better than it is on B. It's almost like a sawdusty type thing on B. Fresh pine.
Wow, I'm getting that nice butterscotch maple right up front, all the way to the middle. Super sweet, but then it turns into a tiny bit sour. But it develops into like some kind of a dark fruit note.
I'm screwed. This is, we might have to cut here. I'm not feeling good about what I might choose.
I might have to too. Well, I let's say I can move forward, but I wouldn't mind cutting either. I like them both, Trent. And both have. I said everything I needed to say about this one. This one here is a little bit more viscous than this one, so the mouth feels a little bit better on this one. The aromas are probably twice as good on this one than this one. I really love the first part of the palate on the taste on this one. On the back end, I'd say it kind of regresses just a touch to where I would like this one better. You see what I'm saying now?
Yeah.
Now we're cutting. Now we're splitting some hairs. There's a lot going on. This is rich. I will say that. This over here. This is extremely well balanced over here.
My B has this really nice confectionery cherry type of. It's almost artificial, like a cherry candy type of thing.
All right.
It's well balanced. There's a little bit of oak in there, but this one too, it's darker. It has this coffee ground type of thing, and I really do love that. I don't know if it's because it reminds me somewhat of a single malt. It has this like funkiness. I'm gonna push A forward.
Are you? I'm gonna take one more sip. I'm gonna take a little drink first.
Okay, actually, hold on. I gotta make sure. Mom, don't circle it yet. Don't circle it yet.
She hasn't had a great day, dude.
I'm having drinker's remorse.
I would not go down that road. It's just wonderful. I'm gonna have to pick B. That was hard to do. I'm positive myself. That is extremely hard for me to do.
I'm sticking with mine.
I think they're both
Kurt is going B.
Yep. And I think they're both absolutely fantastic.
Trenton is going.
Shame.
A.
You're positive.
Positive.
Because once I circle, you're not.
No, yeah, I'm positive. Actually.
Trenton.
I would have loved Glass A and Glass B.
Trenton is A. Kurt is B. Okay.
I would have loved both of these to have been in the final four.
That would have been a heck of a
Honestly.
lineup for
I would
number
have
one.
loved that. It's a shame.
Kent, what's B here, bud?
Something has to win. That's all I can say. I don't know.
right.
Something has to be moved forward. That was absolutely outstanding.
All right, last video based one.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
True that.
I feel like
Here we go.
I'd be interested. I'm gonna read the comments on this video. Saturday. I feel like I find that's floral. Mm-hmm. I find myself feel like maybe regurgitating similar notes.
Really?
Sometimes, but like it's all true. So like I feel like I have maybe 5 to 10 that I can pick up in my arsenal pretty quickly.
Okay.
And I sometimes misidentify those. Sometimes I'll go honey or maple, and to me that's just because I get the sweetness up front, and that's kind of all I focus on.
Okay.
And I don't eat a lot of honey or maple like syrup either. Right. So it's hard sometimes. I'm like, ooh, sweetness.
I got some right over here if you want to take a swig.
Take a guzzle right after this one.
Check it out.
But I do get like a honey-infused butterscotch on this one.
The aromas on C here are rich again, full-bodied, in your face, traditional, really nice. I think possibly lending a little bit more to the baking spices, but definitely some sweetness in there too. Some molasses type, brown sugar type, baking spice type. What'd you do?
I burped right in the glass.
I didn't even catch that one. Why did you put that? Why did you just bring that up? That's one time I didn't even catch it.
I'm upset.
Good grief. Gonna have to report for him, honey.
No. Today.
Not today. Suffer through it.
See on the nose kind of reminded me of a milk chocolate. It's pretty light. Sipping it seems kind of like a lower proof. It's got a little bit of oak. It's got a little bit of a nice milk chocolatey thing going on. Mm-hmm. A little bit of toffee maybe. Kind of reminds me of a Heath bar. It's got that twang from like a toffee. Okay. It's like zippy.
All right.
Zippity doo dah. Trying to decide if the end of the palate is missing something.
This is so good.
Okay.
This is crazy good. Everything that I said on the aromas came through on the palate for me, on the taste. The only thing I can split some hairs with, it gets a tiny bit oaky and dry on the very back and running into the finish for me. Just a tiny bit. But other than that, I am getting that baking spice. It's beautiful. That baking spice and the sweetness is coming through like darker. Not a light caramel, really, for me. It's more of the molasses type, maybe a dark brown sugar. It's wonderful.
Yeah, I'm honestly kind of struggling with this one. It smells like something, like butterscotch, maybe a little honey on the nose, but I honestly don't get a whole lot of development on the palate either.
Well, I'm going to move forward. Did you already move to the other one, or no? Okay. I'm going to move over to D.
It's maybe a little astringent. And I think it's a lower proof, too, so that kind of shines through, and it's a little bit thin.
Are you doing like me? Are you kind of splitting hairs to find some things? Because I definitely did on that first round. I mean, both of them were absolutely delightful.
You know, if you told me I had to drink 2 of those for the rest of my life, I would be more than okay with it.
You better know it. Now, this one's a little bit more faint for me on the nose. I am catching some caramel, maybe a little bit of brown sugar, slightly. But I have to be honest, and it's not rich and full and on the aromas for me. That's what I got here in the glass. And I know these were poured, 20 minutes ago, honey, probably at least. And
Half hour.
okay, and they've been sitting for a little bit, so I am getting it, but it seems odd to me that it's not more robust.
So we just did a pick for our Patreon over at MGP, and this reminds me a lot of when you're like walking by a fermenter. It smells very grainy and a little bit of ethanol. It's kind of over. There's something else in it, maybe like a raisiny type, maybe a fig Newton type of thing. It's a little sweet, but I'm struggling past this like fermenty, ethanol-y, kind of almost like has like this anise or like a celery type of thing, like a dirty celery.
Yeah, I am. The first sip that I had on D, I wasn't super impressed. I know that's weird because I pushed this thing through. Don't get me wrong, it's not horrible by any stretch of the imaginations, but this glass on first sip didn't stand up to the first 3 that I tasted in this video.
Now this is one of those rounds where I'm really questioning what I pushed forward, because right now, compared to the first round, like these just kind of blew my pants off.
Okay.
These though, and I don't know if it's because we started off like real hot with these and these had so much flavor and stuff in it. These are just, I'm getting a little bit more grain on these and a lot less other quintessential or different type of notes that you might find of like a sweet. It's just really ethanol and grain forward.
D on that sip was much better. I don't know if I took a sip too soon after sipping the water and it kind of got washed out a little bit, but D was much better on the second sip. So
This smells like a beet.
a beet.
A beet. Yeah. Like that red thing.
Okay, hang on. I gotta check.
It's like a dirty beet. I'm getting a lot of dirt on stuff today. What's wrong with me?
Dirty beet. Okay.
Maybe we need to pour these 2 hours before we film. I honestly wonder at what point the water starts to evaporate in these, and you get more of like a higher proof type of experience. So if you took like a Wild Turkey 101 and you just let it sit out for a while,
Sure.
how that would go.
Yeah.
And that couldn't even be a thing.
Yeah.
It was just a thought I had that I didn't think about before I said it. I'm getting a little bit more butterscotch on this now on the nose. Maybe a little bit more on the palate. It's turned kind of grassy. Like fresh cut.
Okay. Wow. I have to say, D on the second, third sips, whatever I've had, is much better. There is some definite barrel char in there. There's some brown sugar sweetness in there, a little darker. I wouldn't quite say molasses. There may be a hint of light caramel smoke. But this sucker, to me, is on fire. This thing is freaking hot. D. And I went through it again. That's the purpose why I went through both sips again. And this is like, for some reason right now, it's stinging me pretty hard. I'm gonna try to taste one more time if I can.
This might be tougher than the last round just because I'm not really in love with either of them. So it's like I have to nitpick which one has a bit more of an upfront flaw.
Right.
D's getting like this bubblegum type of note. Great bubblegum.
Yeah, both of these very good. I have to say again, but honey, for me today, I'm gonna go with this one here, what is that, C? I'm gonna go with C. Yeah, both very, very good, but I'm really enjoying C. I really love those baking spices that are in there. It's really shining for me.
I could talk about this for an hour. I'm just going to go with my gut. I'm going to push D forward. As it sat a little bit, it started to pull away from those grainy type of notes and a little bit more towards this like bubblegum, grapey type of thing. Yeah. It's interesting, though. It seems a lot more grain forward, but it's not. Sometimes when we do videos where we do a blind, so like you give me 4 random ones or whatever,
sure.
It's hard to tell sometimes if something's a higher barley, because this seems kind of like a higher barley. It's got this weird funky thing
like
going
a 4
on.
grain type palette, too.
Yeah.
Going on there.
Exactly. Yeah. Which is interesting, because I don't think any of the
No.
ones are 4 grains,
We
which
don't.
is
We don't.
making me question what I know.
That's very...
I'm worried.
It's the blinds, buddy. I'm we'll see what happens. My first tasting was the best tasting. There's no question about that. Whatever that bracket was, I would have loved for both of those to move on.
But I'm really bummed that... What did I pick? I think I picked A. Did I pick A in the first one?
Yes.
Okay. I wish A and B would be going forward to the final instead of C and D.
There you go.
Whatever's in that.
It
seems like a better matchup.
And I would echo that statement.
Yep.
If I had that tasting, if either one of these were over here, I think both of those would have went through for me as well.
Who came up with these seeds anyways?
Yeah, we did. We did them ourselves. But did you go through them and find out where your seeds would be on the bracket and what would be going against what?
No.
Yeah, I didn't either. So
That's
going to drive you nuts if you do. And I knew it would me because I would analyze that. You know how I am. I would analyze that for hours.
No, and I'm rough too because if I know what's in it, I'm trying to find it, and then I screw it up, and then my stuff's all out of whack.
Right.
So I figured it would be better for me if I don't look at anything. I kind of go social media blackout for 2 or 3 weeks while we do this.
I haven't really played around with it either. If I did, you know how I am.
Yeah.
It's like a huge rabbit hole for me. If I start into that, I just won't be able to just dig myself out.
Yeah, it'll be interesting.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
well, good luck tonight. We'll
Yep.
see. We'll see how it goes. I'm actually kind of worried. Are we getting JJ's?
We are? Hey,
Love
all
it.
right.
Love it.
JJ's Pizza.
Well, congrats to us.
It's Trenton and I's favorite here in our area.
Oh yeah,
And Rebecca.
it's the
doesn't.
best. They got this
She
like
doesn't
crust
like it.
folded over the top. Oof.
It's lovely. What do you get on yours? What's your favorite?
If
Pepperoni and onion.
pepperoni, sausage, and onion.
Oh, sausage.
It needs that little sausage
Okay.
funk to it.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Is sausage funky? Is that how you describe that? Or it's like, I don't know. If I feel like if I just get pepperoni and onion, it's missing something. It's a little bland. So you
Yeah,
get that
sure.
sausage. It's
I
got the
get
nice,
that.
really spicy. It's like an Italian crumbly sauce. Oh,
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Jay, if you're watching, you're from JJ's. If you want to sponsor tonight's pizza delivery,
You should. You should, because once the folks know what I order, what's my favorite?
what do you get?
Oh.
A Supreme?
Oh, no, not quite that far. But I get sausage, pepperoni. Got to have that. That's a good starter, right?
It's a good base. Yep.
But from there, I got to go with mushroom, green olives, and black olives.
You had me up until olives.
Oh.
I can do mushrooms on a pizza.
Woo! Yes.
Do
Yes.
they have jalapenos?
And green peppers, right, babe? Forgot the green peppers. Oh, man. That's
You're missing onions, man.
Oh, no.
Oh yeah. He doesn't like onions.
No, I don't like raw onions, and in pizza, they don't cook through.
That's true.
So in regular food, if you cook them down, they're fine, but I don't like them when they crunch.
We're gonna do an onion blind.
No. Oh, no, you're not. No, you're not. All right. That's all we have for you today. We'll see you later tonight. It's going to be so much fun. It'll just be him and I up here horsing around and trying to
You know how that goes.
figure out what's number one.
8 p.m. Central. Don't miss it.
All right. As always, we ask you to please drink responsibly. We'll see you next time right down here with Trent and me in the good old basement bourbon bar. See you later.